Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to part your hair for braids. My last video, I said that I was going to make a follow-up video to show how I did the parts for my braids, and after posting that video I got a lot of comments and feedback, and people were requesting that I make that particular video. So I decided to respond to that request by creating this video. So if you are interested in seeing how to part your hair for braids, then you stick back and watch. First, you need two mirrors, which you are going to place in such a way that you can see clearly from one mirror what is going on the other mirror, just as you see. So when I stand in front of the mirror at the back of my head is going to give a mirror image to the front of the mirror where my eyes can see. That is what helps me to part my hair. Then you're going to need a very straight cutter, whether it's a rat tail comb you use or whatever it is you use in parting your hair. I'm using a traditional cutter that we get from Nigeria. It's nothing fancy and all, but you need something that is very straight, because that is going to reduce the work you're going to do, so that when you part your hair it's just going to be easy. It's just like plotting a graph with a ruler. So if your ruler isn't straight, you're not going to get a straight line and all of that. So we are doing the parts that we did in my previous video. If you are not aware of that video, I'm going to link the video in the description box so that you'll be able to check out the video and see the final results. But from the looks of it, I can call this part a rectangle part or a parallelogram part, or whatever you choose to call it, it's fine. You should also note that when parting your hair, you're going to need a light source. In this video, I used my LED light as a light source to see clearly what I am doing at the back of my head. But if you don't have that, it's fine. You can just stand in front of your window. That is a window that has good light coming in. Just back the window so that the lights can shine on the back of your head, and the mirror at the back can get a clear picture for you to see at the front. Because if you're standing in a dark room and you're using two mirrors, you're not going to part your hair well. And your mirror must not be hanging on the wall just as mine is. You can just place it on a chair or on a table or whatever works for you, and that's fine. I'll just keep making the parts. If you want more parts on your hair, you should part the sections smaller. You can see that I'm taking very big sections of hair, because the style we did in the previous video was we got 38 braids from that style. So I have to part the hair in such a way that I can get that same amount of braid. And you see how I alternated the mirror to the other side so that I can see. Like, I wanted to see this side of the hair, so I moved the mirror to the direction that can mirror that side of my head. So that's what I continue doing in this video. Just play around with your parts until you are satisfied with what you have, and you are good to go. This part is pretty simple. You just put the cutter in a slant position and you cut the line. Just make sure it's very straight, and then you move it out of the way and move to the next. I recommend that you part your hair first if you are making your hair by yourself, because it's going to make it much easier for you to braid when you already know that the parts of your head are already sectioned into different parts, and yours is just to braid and go. But if you don't do this, it's going to make the work so burdensome, and you might actually lose interest in doing the hair at the end of the day. But when you part your hair, it makes it very simple, and you just take it piece by piece and you braid and all of that. So I'm not using any products as of now. I'm just showing you how to part your hair for braids. So I won't be using any products or any of those things. You see how I keep alternating it. When I get to the side, once I stop getting a clear vision from the other mirror at the back, I move it. So you want one of the mirrors to be movable so that you can easily turn and see what you are doing clearly. You should also make sure that when you are parting your hair, that your braids fall in between each other. That is, they're not just falling in a straight line. You want to part in such a way that for every part you create, a braid is going to fall in between that part. And you would see that for every part I create, there's a braid falling in between. This will help so that the hair isn't scanty, so you can have you can make big braids and the hair will still look full in the eyes. But if you part it in such a way that they're just falling on top of each other, it's like a ladder you're climbing, you are going to see a lot of space in your hair, and that's not going to be so nice. So you have to part in such a way that for every part you make, that a braid falls in between that part. So that's the best way to get your braids and make sure that it looks nice and come out really okay. There's a lot of calculation when it comes to parting your hair for braid, depending on the amount of braids you want on your hair. But the major guide is that when parting your hair, the rows at the back of the head should have the least number of braids there. What I'm trying to say in essence is that if you're going for 40 braids, that the rows or the amount of braids you cut at the back of your head, that's from your neckline to around like your ear region, that's the beginning, the top part of your ear, should have at least 10 to 11 braids, and then from there upwards should have the rest 29 or 30 braids. Or if it's 100 braids you're going for, that part should have 40 braids, and then the front should have 60, and like that. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is that the back should have a smaller number of braids than the front. That way the back isn't too full and then the front becomes scanty, because if you're going for 40 braids and you already have 20 braids at the back, obviously you're going to have 20 braids in the front, and the front of the hair normally has a lot of hair there than at the back, so the braids are not going to be fatter than the ones at the back, which is not going to be nice at all. So just make sure that the least number of the braid is at the back, so that when you finish making the hair, it's going to fall easily, and the back is not going to be heavy or too full or fuller than the front. That's just the point I'm trying to drive out. These techniques I've outlined out are very much applicable to the other types of parts. That's your triangle parts, your box parts, your circular parts, your diamond parts, your puzzle parts, and other types of parts, because at the end of the day you are still driving at the same result. You want the hair to be balanced, and you don't want one part to be fuller than the other and some parts scanty. So if you guys still want me to create those videos for the different types of parts, or there's a particular part you want me to create, just comment in the comment section below, and then we'll take it from there. You can see the parted sections of my hair, and when I lift the hair up and begin to drop them one after the other, you can see how they fall in between each other. This will ensure that there are no spaces in the hair, that spaces are not needed. Those spaces will not be present in the hair, and this will give it a full look. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you were able to learn one or two things from that video. If you're new to this channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe and put on your post notifications so you get a notification when I post new things on my channel. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this style. If you have other requests of hairstyles you want me to do, please leave in the comment section. I'll be sure to reply to all of them and get back to your request just as I've gotten back to this particular request. As you wait for next week's video, do check out the videos I left in the description box for you. Tell me what you think about them, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.